Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are, and welcome to Mini Indie Game Reviews, a place where I'll be reviewing indie games that are quick, sweet, and straight to the point. Today we're going to be looking at the indie game Speed Limit, which was developed by GameChuck and published through Chorus Worldwide. Before the final game was released, GameChuck released a demo of the game which would contain visuals that will go on to be worked on. Their general direction of depicting on what is going on stays intact. However, some of the changes appear to be more darker and detailed than its original in my honest opinion. And looking at the trailer for the demo versus what we got, some of the visuals seems to be taken out of the final product. However, the general idea of the base game remained intact and unchanged. I snagged the PlayStation 4 version, so let's get into it. Speed Limit is about this guy who is riding a train, and for no reason, when you pick up this gun, all of a sudden the whole entire world is against you. You start shooting anything that moves in an effort to escape seemingly governmental and militaristic oppositions. And that pretty much is the story. Not really deep at all. So, Speed Limit starts off by looking like your regular side-scrolling run-and-gun type of game, but constantly evolves into many other things along with its changes in perspectives just to keep up with all that's going on. This game in its entirety is really just a player playing through one whole action set piece with virtually no time to catch your breath. Keeping up with that notion, this game does a good job in transitioning the player from one style to the next seamlessly that kinda gives this game its edge. For example, like how I'm driving down this highway that is reminiscent of the classic GTA 1 and 2 style for it to switch into perspectives to another segment, not only within its presentation but also within its playstyle. More on that within the gameplay section. So initially it's obvious to see the pixelated visual art direction Speed Limit is going for. Fundamentally this stays the same throughout the game, but it only serves as a building block while the rest of the game switches everything up around this concept. Speed Limit maintains this art form, but now you go from a 2D to a semi-isometric viewpoint, then to a 2.5D-ish presentation throughout your gameplay. A good example is when you have to shoot and dodge oncoming traffic. The cars along the level look damn near 3D, but what I like most about this game is the constant surprises. The camera in which you are viewing this sometimes will turn into the perspective of the people that's trying to kill you, if you aren't fast enough that is. The details and what is going on is something to marvel at. When shooting, in some parts of the game it looks standard and not so special, but when you get to this part you actually see the bullet caps drop out of the video frame, adding a nice visual effect to something that you would normally be doing throughout this game. Even at the beginning when you start shooting people, you see in detail how your bullets will decapitate people who quickly become a victim of circumstance, along with how graphic this game becomes when you get stabbed in the head. But it doesn't just stop there. When you get on the expressway and crash, you clearly see what becomes of your vehicle and you. But what tops it all off for me is the time when you're flying in this game. Punching forward on your controls makes you feel like you're going at Mach speed. Overall, this game looks amazing, and as I said before, it's like playing through one whole action set piece like in the movies. Not the ones where there are so many chops in it to the point where you have no clue of what's going on, but the ones that show various perspectives within one long shot and keeps going. Speed Limit possesses a buffet of many gameplay elements with the run and gun type genre serving as the skeleton in which this game bodies. In Speed Limit, you go from being on foot, then into multiple forms of transportation like a car on the highway, and then into a fighter jet. The reason why? Just cuz. But I'm getting a little bit too ahead of myself. As for your controls, you can move left or right due to the 2D side-scroller direction with the ability to jump, duck down, and shoot. But this is just only for the first segment. When you get into vehicles, you're still going to be relying on shooting. However, you have to hold the same button you would normally use to jump so you can slow down a bit and aim. You are going to be using a directional pad to maneuver through the ever so obstacles that will be coming at you at a microsecond's notice. The possible issue is just adjusting to the new perspectives. That within itself is the blessing and the curse for Speed Limit as a game. The name of this game within itself is probably an oxymoron, well deserved. This is because things moves incredibly fast in this game at a net-breaking pace. You probably might even get whiplash. You will never know when this game is going to switch things up on you. Thank God this game gives the player infinite lives to try again whenever you fail. Without that, this game would probably be damn near unplayable. I would personally recommend starting this game off on easy first, then onto the normal difficulty setting to challenge yourself. Just look at the comparison between the easy and normal mode and don't tell me this isn't a huge difference. Again, Because this game switches things up on you many times, the player will probably find themselves trying to adapt to the new playstyles and controls. One of the parts of the game that kinda gave me difficulty was right here, where I felt that this game was semi on rails. I was kinda thrown off a bit, I ain't gonna lie. But this kinda brings me to the second challenging thing that the player has to overcome, and that would be multitasking. Let's look at the first level. You'll think it's only move and shoot. Theoretically, yes, but you'll have to shoot, duck for enemies so you can shoot the enemies kneeling, and then jump over and dropping under these signs and leaping from one train to another successfully so you don't die. And this is just the first level. Things get a little bit more challenging from here on. If you can recognize certain patterns of each level and is quick with your fingers, you can eventually beat the level through trial and error. Thankfully, there are automatic save points once you reach a certain checkpoint. This helps a lot because instead of starting over on the whole level or game, you start off at the last checkpoint. This game loads up at the drop of a dime each time you die, which is very good for this game because it doesn't disrupt the immersion and the flow of gameplay. Speed limit is a challenge indeed. The music was done by Matija Malatestinic, who according to his Twitter is a music composer and also the person over sound design over there at GameChuck. In Speed Limit, he provides a fast-paced, high blood pressure, anxiety rising type of electronic music that adds even more of an insane feeling to the player. Given what this game is about, it's perfect for such an occasion. But that is during gameplay. The other type of song that plays is during the main menu, where it's a bit slower in tempo but nevertheless sounds dark and a bit foreboding. Lastly, it's this beautiful, relaxing, but yet still cheerful little song that plays whenever you hit the pause menu. From doing my research, Matija seems to be open for business if you need music for your projects. I would suggest hitting him up. Again, the links will be provided in the description so you can find them and support him. Speaking of doing the sound design, the sound design for Speed Limit is god tier. Shooting your gun, packs a punch, and crashing in certain segments while driving really makes the player feel impact upon collision. And again, my personal favorite, flying within a segment sounds like you're shooting off as if you're about to break multiple sound barriers. Overall, this game sounds satisfying. That's what you'll expect from a game filled with die-hard-esque action. Just expect to hear a whole lot of With everything considered, I'm gonna give Speed Limit a 6 to a 7 out of 10. This game is short, and I mean short. You can beat it in like a few hours if you keep trying. This game is ridiculously fun once you understand the mechanics that comes with each segment. Speed Limit is one of those games that was made for players that's kinda like,
I'm just about that action, boss.
If you want a game that isn't slow, have you doing the same repetitive regurgitated missions a million times, or have hours upon hours drowning the player in exposition, this game is for you. If you just wanted to get to the fun part of a game, this whole entire game is the fun part. Speed Limit is only for $10 and is now available for Steam, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. If you played this game, let's talk about it. Until next time, be safe out there, and peace y'all.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit up that notification bell, and I gotta go.